Happy day. Welcome to this week's episode of Down Home with Tina. I'm your host, Tina Thompson, and it is going to be a fun show, folks. I have coming up First Responder of the Month from the Lancaster Police Department, and also a local medical doctor, general surgeon, who is going to be with us to talk about, there are several cancer awareness months, and we're going to go into detail and chat about some of those. And actually one of them that probably isn't really well known, but you'll find out what that is when you come up here in just a few. It's Down Home with Tina.
What makes Fairhope what it is our staff. It's always a question that we ask, why do you want to be here with us? And what they most always say is, you've touched my life this way. You know, you took care of this person, or I've seen what you've done and I want to do that. And so the staff that have been here know what it takes. They've been on the other side. They see what it takes to make someone comfortable, to make the family comfortable, and really what kind of support they need. And so I think that's what really makes Fairhope what it is.
Welcome back to Down Home with Tina. I have from the Lancaster Police Department, Officer Amanda Engels, and I'm very excited to have her as my First Responder of the Month. And how many years have you been a police officer?
I've been for 15 years.
Yeah, what's it been like so far? That's a long time.
It is a long time. It flies by, actually, more than what you think, yes.
You know, years ago when I was in my 20s, I worked with a lady that was in her 50s, and I don't know if it was my birthday or something, we were talking about time, and she goes, your 20s will go fast, your 30s faster, your 40s will be like they never happened. And my age, I'm just like, where did it all go? So I do believe you in that. But in your job, sometimes does it seem like the days are slow?
There are some days that are slow, yes. But I do like the more fast pace. You do. So it does make time fly.
Yes, it does. Yeah, yes. I'm the same way. I'm like, yeah, let's just keep busy and, give me something to do or whatever. So why did you decide to become a police officer?
I just wanted to make an impact on my community. I just wanted to feel like I actually would help people than just, maybe sitting at home and watching somebody else and knowing, hey, I could do that. I can help this person. I can help them through their troubles. And so I was like, law enforcement seemed like a perfect fit.
And are you from this area, Lancaster area?
Below Circleville, actually. Still Pickaway County, but below Circleville.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're from, so it's not far.
Not far,
like
no.
From a different state or anything like that.
No, like 40 minutes.
Have you done different jobs in your career? Or have you always been out on the road?
I've done different jobs. Started out actually in the jail. So got some experience there, and then went to patrol, and then I was on patrol for maybe 2 years. Then I became a canine handler, which that was very fun. Got to meet other canine handlers from other departments, got to work with them, so I really enjoyed that.
Working on the jail side, if I'm allowed to even ask this part of it, what's it like? And I know I do reference quite often because me in a detention center setting often. Of course, I'm not a juvenile detention officer by any means, but I'm just like, that is hard. I mean, to see that. And is it really different, of course, from being out on, because I don't know what your job duties are and those different types of jobs that you all do as police officers, and is it required as a police officer by everybody?
Some departments you do have to start out in the jail.
Oh, okay.
Other departments you can go straight to the road, but working in a jail is definitely different than being out on patrol. In the jail, you're around the same people every day. So you kind of know, you get used to them, know how to talk to them. Out on
There you go.
patrol,
Yes,
on
yeah.
patrol, obviously we deal with numerous people on different days. We might deal with somebody one day and then not deal with them again for quite a while. So with the jail, yes, you're more confined to that area. And
Is it like probably just more monotonous? I wouldn't think it would be as exciting maybe as it would be out.
yeah,
never knowing
you
what's
do the
gonna
same
happen,
thing every day in the
day.
jail. Yes.
How many years did you have to do that? Or were you
I
on
did that for 4 years.
Oh my. Yeah,
So it
okay.
was, yeah.
Is it usually the one on the bottom of the totem pole and working your way up? Is it typically that, or
I
maybe
mean,
some do prefer
Yeah,
the jail?
some do prefer the jail. They would rather be inside than being outside and handling calls.
Thankful for
but
them, huh?
Yes,
For
yeah.
those
I
who
mean,
rather-
they're needed too. I mean,
Exactly.
yeah, they can have a fight one day too, same as us.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's just different, environment.
Do you have a favorite job out of the different ones? I know you said canine handler was
Yes, I definitely like the canine.
How many years did you do
I did that for 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
before.
was that like? Was it because the dog is usually with you
Yes.
all of the time. They live with you, right?
Yes,
That's what I
they
thought. My goodness.
spend every day, every hour with you. Which,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm an animal lover, so I enjoyed having them around. But unfortunately, I ended up switching departments and had to
Okay.
give him
I
up.
was wondering
yes.
if that was
So I
yeah,
did-
yeah.
Yes,
Aw.
and I believe it's been 3 years now that he's actually been passed. So,
Oh,
but he did retire,
really?
and
Aw,
but
yeah. So, did you have the dog from when he or she was a pup, or
I
right
didn't-
out of not a pup, but I mean right out into
Yeah.
for the very beginning of his
I
career?
did not. Our department actually got him when he was 3 years old, so I had
Okay.
him until he was about 7.
Okay. Yeah,
And
and then how many
yeah.
years ago would that have been?
Ooh, wow.
That's-
2012, I believe.
Okay, so yeah,
It's
his
been a
life, that's why
while.
he would have. Yes, he's probably
Yes.
gone, and they've got others as well. Have you ever looked about maybe getting back into that? Do you think?
I have
'Cause
thought
it's
about
gotta
it.
be a lot being 24/7 to care for.
Yes.
An animal.
I have thought about it.
We'll see what.
Of course, gotta weigh options.
Yeah,
Be
yeah.
from like the previous when I had him, or had the
Yeah.
dog, to do I want to go through all that again? But it is like I said, it's a good way to meet others as well. You're not just within your department.
How long have you been with the Lancaster Police Department?
Just since June of 2024.
Okay. What do you
Yeah,
think
so
so
I'm-
far of
I'm-
our city of Lancaster?
I love it. I'm glad I came here.
Are you?
Right from the start, when I was starting my transfer here, everybody made me feel like I had been here for years.
Oh, and
Usually,
that's
some
nice.
departments you don't get that.
Mm-hmm.
But here it was just like, it was everybody. So I really enjoyed that. So I was like, I know this is going to be my home. Yes.
I love that. I like to hear
Yes.
that. Yeah, it is. It's a really good community.
It
and,
is.
Yes, Sergeant Sims and all of them, and
Yes.
the community services and all of that department. They're awesome, and they're a lot of fun.
They
Uh,
are.
What do you foresee in the future for you with LPD?
So, like I said, still kind of looking into possibly being a canine officer. If not, I mean, I like doing patrol. I like being out, meeting others, meeting the community still. Because obviously, I've only been here for less than a year, so still getting to meet the community and get to know them.
And do a lot of folks approach you and say hi and things like that?
Yeah, some.
They're pretty friendly.
Yes,
and are-
I've met some that's been friendly. Sometimes when I'm just driving around, everybody
Learning.
waves, and I was like, okay.
You'll learn.
yeah.
Of course, you're still learning.
Yes.
The ones that, are
Yes.
saying hi because they don't want you to arrest them.
Yeah.
And those-
Yeah,
Because
but-
sometimes people might think that the ones that don't want to be arrested would not say hi. You'd be
They-
surprised.
Yes.
Because
They make it obvious.
kind of-
Yes.
Right. I'm saying, I know this just because of me being out on the one ride along that I did. I was just like, huh? And then we get back in the patrol car, and then the officer would just tell me all kinds of things about that person. I'm like, oh, wow. Wow. And they just approached you and said hi to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so, because and maybe they would just be like, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not doing anything wrong at that moment or something. Anyways, it's got to be fun and somewhat entertaining.
It is.
And, you know, sometimes just people are entertaining to me overall. I'm just like, I love to watch people. So that's what you do all day.
Okay.
Watch, right?
Yes.
Like pretty much. I mean, for the most part, you're looking and watching.
Yeah, when you're driving around, I mean, you're like you said, you're always looking around.
Very observant.
Yes.
Yes. Anyways, thank you so much for being with me, and keep up doing what you're doing. I hope that does work out. You know, whatever it's supposed to be with what you want in your career to continue on. So for 15 years, and probably going to retire, I'm sure.
Oh yes.
Yes. Thank you so much, folks. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. It is Down Home with Tina.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our two locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Welcome back to Down Home with Tina. I have with me, finally, it's taken forever. I'm just kidding. Fairfield Medical Center, Fairfield Healthcare Professionals, Dr. David Hasl. I said surgeon extraordinaire before we got on. I'm so glad that we could finally work it out, that you could come on and be on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for the invite.
Absolutely. So much to talk about with so little time, because I know that we could go on and on and on. But I want to begin with, why did you decide to become a doctor, a medical doctor?
Enjoyed helping people out. It's one of those things where my father was a surgeon.
Okay.
I got to watch what he did. And growing up in Scouts, everyone had to choose a project. Mm-hmm. And the project that I chose was called Helping Hands, where we helped the elderly in the community for 6 months. And between watching what my father did and that project, said, this is what I want to do.
Very, very, very cool. Nothing ever like made you go, oh, I can't do that. I'm that. Like, oh my goodness, nothing major hopefully will never happen to me. Knock on wood, because I will pass out.
Actually, just the opposite of that. When
really?
I spent 2 years teaching anatomy class and spent 6 years in the anatomy lab, that pretty much sealed it. Says, this is what I need to do.
You just loved it.
Yes.
How many years now has it been that you've been a surgeon?
1992.
So I graduated in, now I'm never going to say, 1992 would be, so if I was 20 in 92, 30 years. 30 years.
And I've been here since 2003.
31 years.
Already.
31? What am I saying? No, more than that. You said 92, 33. Oh, I forget how old I am. Yeah.
Going on 34 years.
Yes.
Crazy.
Yes, it has. Going to keep on going until you can't.
Oh, at some point we're going to say enough's enough.
Yeah. Because let's talk about that. You've got to be on call. Is it 24/7? Or how does that work for you?
Call now for me is completed. I stopped that in October.
Oh, so you just did, okay.
Prior to that, we were on call as a group on a rotating basis for 24 hours.
Okay.
So that meant during the week as well as the weekend.
Yeah.
So with FHP, the group of surgeons came together with 5 of us last spring, matter of fact, a year ago, March, and we picked up 3 new general surgeons over the course of the summer. So there's 8 of us. So I figured the 7 of them are taking call.
And you're good with that, right?
I'm very good with that.
Oh, that's awesome. So there, I was like, what are we going to talk about? There are so many different things to talk about, but the cancer awareness.
Exactly.
There's so many of that and so many months of. And so what are some of them? We know October. Is October, you think, the biggest known
I think
one
so. October
for breast?
worldwide, people understand that that's the month that's been chosen for breast cancer awareness with the pink ribbon campaigns. And it seems like every hospital and every town has some form of celebration now and recognition.
Yes.
With all the runs and walks and 5Ks that they have up in Columbus.
Which is awesome. It is awesome. But we also have some others that
That's
really are not getting as recognized as would you say that it should be, or just as equally?
Not just as equal. As we were talking earlier, November is the Lung Cancer Awareness Month. And of course, that being the #1 cancer worldwide, both men and women. So it needs to be represented there.
Absolutely. With now smoking, of course, growing up, and I had a father that was a smoker all of his life. Most of it even went to that, to what they now most the vape. That was something that was mostly known for in mine was smoking, but it's not just smoking that causes
No,
lung
because
cancer.
a lot of folks are getting lung cancer and they're never smoked at all. It's secondhand from parents, other family members, or by association.
Yes, yeah.
But what the hospital has offered, and again, this is nationwide, is they're doing a low-dose CAT scan as a screening tool to assess if there's a small growth called a nodule that can not prevent but catch something small and early.
Wow. Wow, even
And
as
so-
myself being a child of a smoker, adult child,
Yep.
of course, from when I was younger, when everybody stopped smoking, it was almost like when you were around somebody that smoked, you could smell it on you. I think, and may my dad rest in peace, I was probably a walking, talking, smelling like cigarette child. We didn't until it all kind of went away.
Right.
But I wasn't the only one, I'm pretty sure. Because back in the 70s, that was pretty prevalent. A lot of people chose to do that. So but they have that they offer now. It's
Yes, they do.
screening that they can.
The
How
other,
easy is it to get that, Dr. Hasl, done?
it's very easy because you don't have to go to a specialist. Your family physician, your primary care doctor can order that through the
Nice.
hospital.
Nice. What are some of the other awareness months?
Well, we talked about March for colon cancer awareness, and that is a big one. It is
Yes.
the third most common, and I think we've done a fantastic job making sure that getting the education piece out there, not just to the public, but to the primary care physicians, and making sure that they get that information out to the patients to get screened.
What do you think is and I don't know if you can answer this or not, or if there is one of the main causes of colonoscopy? Do you think it's just lack of preventative care and making sure that there's what's going on?
I
And
think
for-
it's a combination of lack of awareness, but they know it's out there, but they don't want to have it done.
That was what I was going to say. So many people are so afraid to have a colonoscopy. Are there alternatives to having an actual full colonoscopy? Do you recommend one of the other, or because they
I would still
it's
say
better
that
to do
the
something
best,
than nothing.
the best is still colonoscopy. If a patient is going to say, "I'm never going to have that," then they do offer Cologuard. That's
it.
been around for the past 10 or 12 years.
Yeah.
It's never going to replace colonoscopy. There are certain people that should not have it. But those are the two main ones that we are working on and counseling patients too.
Well, for myself, and because like diverticulosis is what I was diagnosed with by having a colonoscopy. So there's colon cancer, but that's a whole other big, huge problems that you're not going to know you have unless you have a colonoscopy
Exactly.
to know that the polyps or there are other things, whatever's going on, or the pockets that's in there.
And the whole idea behind colon cancer screening, different than with some of the other screenings is colon cancer screening is actually preventative. So if you do a colonoscopy, identify a polyp, we understand that polyps can grow to cancers, but if you remove that polyp, there's no chance that that's going to grow.
Right.
And then you're now selected out as being in a surveillance to keep bringing you back to make sure you stay that way.
Yeah, yeah, because it can, of course, unseen, you don't know, but if there's something going on, I think we all know our bodies well enough. When we think there's something going on, there's probably something going on.
Right.
So it's best to get checked out.
Well, I can tell you, back in 2006, I was only here for 3 years, we ran the numbers and we were finding that over 50% of the patients in this area, southeastern Ohio, presented with a late stage 4 colon cancer.
Food? You think it's, of course, the food, or do you think it's hereditary, or it could be a mix? I know
It could be a mix,
probably.
but at that point, I don't think the word was out there for screening. And we've got that number down to 37%.
Nice,
So
nice.
those are the numbers we just reviewed from 2022.
Yeah. And I always say that the human body, every one of us is different.
Oh, yeah.
One of it. I mean, we could both eat the same thing every day for the rest of our life. You could live to be 100 and I could die at 25 or 30.
And one of
you
us
know what I
could
mean? But
have reflux and the digestion and
which
heartburn.
is the coming up in, for the
That's
month
all
of
April,
April is,
yeah.
yes.
So April is the
Esophageal.
Esophageal Cancer Awareness Month. And the recommendation there is for the patient that has difficulty swallowing, they need to be evaluated by their physician.
Now, those who, and I know this is kind of, that might be ear, nose, throat, or whatever, like, so I have my tonsils, I have my adenoids, I have all that. Is that because, you know, when the kids are younger, it was recommended years ago to keep from certain things. Does that make a difference for esophageal if you have
Not-
or have not your adenoids or your
really.
tonsils or anything? Okay.
No, we found out that the 3 biggest things for esophageal is going to be the combination of tobacco with alcohol, or the patient that might have chronic acid reflux or heartburn, or what they call GERD.
And can that is, well, no, not necessarily. I was going to say, can those two, alcohol and smoking, cause those two things? But no, not necessarily.
Not necessarily, but we've found a higher incidence of cancer with both of those.
With the, okay, yeah.
And that's why when we do the upper scope procedure called an EGD, we assess that area, the junction between the esophagus and the stomach, for an abnormality called Barrett's. And those patients with Barrett's, it's not cancer, it's precancerous. And those patients need to be surveyed then every 3 years.
What is GERD?
GERD is gastroesophageal reflux disease.
Okay.
So you have acid in the stomach, and as the stomach churns,
Yeah.
digests food, there's a physiologic valve at that junction between the esophagus and stomach, and the acid goes up into the esophagus.
And is that hereditary, or is that the food, the kind of types of food that we do eat in our body, the way it's taking it?
I think it's a combination of
Processing
both,
it? Okay.
because it's in my entire family.
Okay. Okay.
And it's one of those things where you just have to, like you said earlier, we can eat the same thing, and some people have symptoms
Yeah.
and some
Yeah,
don't.
some don't. Yeah. We are all made differently for, yeah. What I remember years ago, I had a doctor tell me to, well, because having diverticulitis, just exercise, drink plenty of water,
Right.
and make good choices and eat everything within moderation. I made a joke with a friend over the weekend. It's like, moderation is from person to person, but we all truly know what moderation means. Do we not, Dr. Hasl?
Yes.
We do. Wait, do you agree with that?
Yes.
Yes. Now, I've also had somebody tell me that you can drink too much water, and that's unhealthy for you.
I don't know about
Is
that.
that?
How much water
Yeah.
is too much water?
Thank you.
You've
Right?
got some
I mean, I
people that
don't
are
know.
drinking over a gallon a day plus.
Yeah, yeah. Does it?
And
It
they're
doesn't
fine.
hurt you. They're fine. Yes.
Yeah.
You just might have to take trips to a place in the home more often than others. But so it's not. And I don't know
No.
why I heard that. And I thought, what are some of the things that you hear that are so, maybe that was one of them, absurd, you hear people say?
That is one of the hardest for people to drink water. Because you hear everything.
Why?
I don't like it. I don't like the taste. There is no taste.
No. Do you know
Add
there are
whatever you
different
want
kinds
to
of
it.
waters that I have had, bottled water, that I do like? It kind of sounds that maybe it's just the way it goes down, or it's the kind of, is there a water better than others? I prefer, I'm going to tell you now, a spring water. I just taste.
And I like the reverse
Like it too.
osmosis waters.
Yes, you do?
It's just crystal clear.
Crystal clear? Yes.
And if
So-
you don't like those, switch over to one of the Powerade, Gatorade.
Something liquid. That is
Yes.
important. Dehydration is not good for the body, like good for any organs.
Keep it
anyway.
hydrated.
So you just have to stay hydrated.
Yep.
Anything that you would like to share with my viewers that really can help them have a better life, healthier life? That's
Talk to your family, talk to your doctor about getting screened. The only way to know is talk to your family to see what's out there. And even if there's no family history of any of these cancers, see what screenings are available and just get it done.
Do you believe in getting a physical every year?
After a certain age, yes.
Okay.
Typically age 35, 40 for men.
I think it's important too. Yeah, it just
Yeah.
keeps you up on things.
Yes,
Because
it does.
ignorance can kill you. Right?
There you
I
go.
said it. Yeah. Thank you so much for being with me.
Well, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Dr. David Hasl, surgeon extraordinaire, Fairfield
are
Medical
funny.
Center, Fairfield Healthcare Professionals. Again, thank you so much. It's a pleasure. And yes, we'll have to have you back sometime. Folks, don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. It's Down Home with Tina.
I believe recovering from self is one of the bravest things that anybody can do. And it is an absolute honor to be able to witness people evolve, grow, find purpose in their lives.
The reason why I do what I do is I love helping people, and I really love to work on understanding and striving to improve the lives of the people in our community. Being in Fairfield County is having a network of people around you.
I like helping veterans, and I think I like that my job is never the same day to day. Every day brings a new set of challenges to overcome and new people to help, so it's always changing.
Community, connections, collaboration. The Fairfield County Way.
Down Home with Tina is brought to you by these amazing sponsors. Folks, if you're interested, I've always got room for more sponsors here for the show. Anyways, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to follow my Facebook page. You can, of course, find me there. Also, Spectrum 1021 and CLN Your Hometown Connection is the YouTube channel. And just share it away if you can. I always say, the more people that know about the awesome things we've got going on in our community and when I'm highlighting somebody. Also, if you do have a teacher or a veteran or a first responder or even somebody inspirational that you know that deserves to be highlighted, reach out to me, downhomewithtina@gmail.com. I'd be more than happy to spread the news about the good and positivity going on. Folks, thanks again. God bless and good day. It is Down Home with Tina.